coming to you live here in Kumera in Brisbane, north of Southport, over in the Gold Coast. We are here with day number 2, the final day of qualifiers for ANZ Champs 2021 Season 2. This is the wild one, as most of our favorites have already made it through last week. I'm, of course, Yakuzaku of Ducklings, and with me today is El Horno de Pizza que apreció en la película Coven, Light _VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? Yes, we are back, and we are not the only ones who are back. If you want to tune in to some more biased casting, then check out Chase. Chase is currently casting with Mighty Kiwi over on Mighty Kiwi's channel. Also, check out Pepe Enriquez is casting over on his own channel. He's casting over on his own channel as well. So we do have
Spanish.
He's the Spanish stream. So there are 3 streams going on right now. We do have a pretty big bracket, so plenty of matches to jump on, and we have our own ZvZ right here.
That we do. Kicking things off in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE. We have the man we rated after last night's SDO. He is currently teamless, but still representing OSC Elite, Vivid.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have a very old-school player, a returning player, a player that I haven't seen in many years. Now representing himself, but he used to be on 1F Pro back in the day. It is Snow.
That is a team I have not heard in a long time.
Like 2016, 2015, like that's crazy to think about, right? Like I used to, like I even now I think of 2016. Oh, that was like a couple of years ago. It's like, mate, that was like 5 years ago, mate. Oh my god. Yeah,
Legacy's that old.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Oh god. But yes, no, he's a player who we have never had the luxury of casting before. You know, he was before our time, if you will, when it comes to the CranKy Ducklings casting. So it's cool to see him back here for ANZ Champs.
Really is. Continuing our the pattern that we're seeing about a lot of old pros getting that competitive spirit reignited thanks to some things like ANZ Champs.
Definitely.
And he's definitely got a tough, quite a bit of a tough bracket ahead of him. I mean, right now in the best of 3s, he's up against Vivid, who is one of the few favorites to make it out of today's bracket.
Yeah.
Barely got to mention it, but yeah, despite, most of the people we expect to make it to ANZ Champs that are qualifying last week or being invited in, we do have a couple of players here who are a lot more active than the others, who we really do expect to make it through. Vivid being one of the 3 that off the top of my head I would really consider to be favorites.
Definitely.
A lot of wild card options here.
Yeah, I mean, once we get once we have some free time, we can go over the bracket a little bit more in depth. There are definitely favorites, as you were saying, but we have 6 slots, right? Like there is room for an underdog to really find like some room to shine, and maybe that could be a player like Snow. It could be. As so far, we do have a couple of slight differences. Snow's third base was delayed by quite a bit. Is it the biggest of deals? It could be, but he's also going for a very fast layer.
That he is. Not going to be pressuring the third base of Vivid for too recently. Vivid will dip into the main base. He scouts that lair. So he has a little bit of breathing room, but he really does need to start preparing for either roaches or mutas.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's looking to try and even take out the third base. Like, we do have plenty of lings on the way. Banelings are being morphed in outside the third as well. And because of how late this third was, that means there's no more creep, there's less larva to work with, and Snow, he's gonna have a hard time unless he morphs into Banelings. So please.
Really tough time, and those are going to be slow baits too. Underling's going to be pinned to a corner. Not quite. Vivid, he's chasing. He wants to go after those lings, but more than anything, he wants to take out this third base. I'm liking this from Snow though. Here's Fire.
Yeah, the Spire is on the way. Like, I love this, other than the fact that he's losing the third base. Like, it is going to go down. He's trying to bait out one of the Banelings, but he doesn't quite get it. Not yet. And Vivid, oh my god, he wants to keep going.
And he may be able to. He backs away right now. He's trying to sandwich the Banelings with his own baits. He actually neutralizes the Banelings of Snow with his own, but that does mean that with his superior Zergling count, he is able to push on forward. The Spire isn't done for Snow yet. He cannot get Munis out. He's forced to rely on these Zerglings.
Oh yeah, exactly. The Queen goes down. These things will eventually be cleaned up, but you know, the drones are falling. The damage has been done, and now Vivid, he has to get ready for those mutas. He didn't scout the Spire, to be fair, but he did see the fast lair. Like, things should be clicking in his mind.
That should definitely be a tell for him. Thankfully for Vivid, taking out that third base does mean that Snow has a very limited gas income. Kind of too many mutas, but yeah, he does not want to be caught without any anti-air.
Exactly. And at the moment, there are no spores. There's only one queen for each base. There's no Hydroden. There is a lair, but yeah, Vivid doesn't have that much anti-air. The thing is, though, that we've seen time and time again, like, it doesn't matter if you have like 5 to 6 mutas, like the Roach army can still come in and just end your life. Like, you need a lot of mutas to stop that.
In more ways than one. Mutas have been revealed right now. Vivid immediately throws on Hydroden. He is so confident. He knows that with how aggressive he's being right now, there is no way Snow's going to be able to sneak those mutas across the map. Does not want to get a single spore crawler.
Exactly. Like, he's buying so much time with these roaches and these lings. Eventually, this will be cleaned up. But again, there aren't that many mutas. There are, what, 6 mutas out on the map right now. Another 2 on the way. And the Hydroden just finished.
And it has Galarian Constitution about to kick in as well. These roaches are going to have a very easy time taking out the base again.
Oh god, exactly. The third base is taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, we even have Burrow on the way and Roach tunneling claws, because why the hell not? Lings are flooding into the main base. These should be cleaned up, and I feel like Snow realizes the situation he's in. He's throwing down as many spines as he can.
Yeah, he needs something other than Mutalisk to defend against roaches. Especially when a couple of Hydras have thrown into the mix.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of potential with mutas. There always is, right? As long, like, I mean, at least these overlords are going to be going down. Maybe he can find a way into a mineral line. Vivid is being quite greedy, not getting any spores whatsoever.
That he is, and Snow's muta count has gotten fairly respectable. Can absolutely decimate a mineral line if Vivid isn't careful. He needs to have those queens in position since he doesn't have spores.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, a single spore is on the way. So Vivid, he knows he's in a precarious situation. And Vivid's even getting supply blocks.
That's actually really massive right now for Snow. Limiting another push that Vivid could potentially throw his way just by capping the supply. So many overlords are going down, and important to note, Vivid also has no vision on the map anymore with those overlords getting taken out.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the dark for a little bit here. I mean, to be fair, it's one of those things where he's just amassing a large army at home, but he's giving Snow a lot of room here. Oh god, his 2 mutas get picked off.
Yeah, thankfully Snow was able to react, and it could have been a lot worse going into all of those Hydras.
It really could have. Meanwhile, the tunneling roaches, they're coming across the map. Snow doesn't have any...
the spine crawlers.
Exactly. They get through the wall. There's no spore or detection in the main base. Oh boy.
Oh no. You know, the Mutalisk flock has been getting larger and larger. That is 14 mutas. That is a problem if we're going to be using the terminology here. And they are actually doing a very good job diving on top of these overlords that are deep into Vivid's own bases, even picking off a queen here and there.
Oh, that he has. Meanwhile, I was waiting for the roaches to pop out, but they still haven't. Not yet. We actually still have more. Oh my god, Vivid. He wants to attack every place at once. Oh my god.
I love it. It's all about the timing, isn't it?
Pretty much. He wants everything to hit at once, and it's about to. The Hydras, they're gonna hit the third base. The roaches finally pop out in every single base, and now, mate, there's chaos all over the place.
Yeah, no matter what, Snow is going to be taking damage. And no Banelings here, which would actually be very nice against the Hydralisk. 22 drones have gone down, and Vivid doubling the army supply of Snow. It's tough to see Snow turn this around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, he was able to do a lot of damage with the mutas, but he wasn't able to end the game. The Hydras are still too strong. As you said, there were no Banelings whatsoever to defend. Otherwise, maybe he could have held, to be honest. Like, the Hydra count has already gotten quite low. Imagine if there were a handful of Banelings there.
GG's called, and Vivid will take game number 1.
Oh, GG. Congratulations. Yeah.
I gotta ask, is Vivid streaming right now? Did chat tell him to get Tumbling Claws? And he was having a fun time, it seems.
That's a valid question. He may have been. Oh, God. But yeah, Vivid, he takes that game. Honestly, he had a pretty good lead from the beginning, and that kind of snowballed towards the end. Personally, I'm really curious to see like how Snow does here, just because I don't know how long he's been back. I'm taking a peek at like his match history, and it's like for the past week he has been laddering quite a bit. So even if he doesn't do insanely well against Vivid here, I would love to see him how he does against some of these other players, right?
Yeah. And as you were saying, we do have 6 slots today. There is a lower bracket as well. Yeah. So there's plenty of chances to qualify. Gotta be honest, Snow definitely impressed me a lot in that initial game. As you were saying, Vivid took a very massive lead very, very early on, but Snow, he was patient, he got his mutas out. He was able to make quite a bit happen. He really was. He just got to tighten up a little bit, right? It's like holding on to that third base, getting safety Banelings. I think he was just being a little bit greedy with that, right? In a couple of instances, you know, just relying on only Lings. We'll see if that can change here. I'm a little bit concerned because we are loading into our map number 2, and it's a much smaller map. That it is. Time to see Snow turn the tables and be even more aggressive. Potentially. Oh boy. And speaking of potentially, here we are now on Lightshade LE. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the player who potentially will make it out and qualify. As a reminder, after this best of 3, we go immediately into the qualifying best of 5. It's a tight bracket. Very tight bracket. Here, I already said where we're swatting in from. The Blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Australia. I believe it is Sydney. Sydney or Melbourne. It's not in the north. It's somewhere in the south. Sydney. There we go. Representing OSC Elite, though he is currently teamless, we have Vivid. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Australian Zerg. He is red. Once upon a time representing 1F Pro. Now currently teamless and going for a much earlier pool in gas. It is Snow. It's mining. He's dedicated to the mining gaslight. Yeah, the real question is, like, how committed is he going to be here? Obviously, he's still going to expand, but is he going to just stop at 100 gas for Link speed, or is he going to get a Baneliness behind this? Is he looking to be aggressive, or just playing things safe? I'm not entirely convinced playing things safe would work out too well for Snow, if I'm being honest. We saw just how aggressive it wanted to be, and how he will always find these little openings here and there. I feel like Snow is gonna have to fight fire with fire, which is ironic considering his name. Yeah, and we'll see, because you know what? He is getting Link speed, and he did not pull out of gas. So from here, there are some options, right? He can go straight into a Baneliness. He could, if he wanted to, go into a faster Roach Warren. Again, he's got a lot of gas to work with. Oh my god! Okay.
love this, man.
Prioritizing the +1 melee ahead of the Baneling nest.
Mhm.
You know what? Why not? Fight Lings with Lings.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Like, Vivid, he doesn't have his own Baneling nest. Not yet, anyway. He hasn't scouted his opponent. He did see the timing on the hatchery with his Overlord, so he knows that it's a pull first. He knows that it wasn't a hatch first opening, but he doesn't know what's behind this, right? It could be a Baneling nest. What we see is that Snow, he's going to be banking up as many Lings as possible for that Ling Flood.
That he will. How many Banelings is Vivid going to be able to get out by the time this hits? Ling speed already about to be finished up here for Snow. Vivid's own Ling speed trailing behind.
Oh, that it is. Now, it's not going to do anything with this Ling speed because, again, he has been droning up. That's the interesting thing about this, is that he hasn't been banking up that Ling count that at least I expected. I assume he's going to soon. He should soon, right? To take advantage of all of this. He takes a third.
And that's not the third either, so he's going to be using that for more than just Larva. I will say the +1 melee is still a ways off right now for Snow, so yeah, maybe he decides, alright, might as well just drone up while waiting and then pull the trigger eventually, but Vivid's actually going to be the first player to do that.
Yeah, he's been me out. Likewise, I'm waiting for him to pull the trigger. I'm waiting him to stop droning up and just make nothing but Lings, because +1 melee, it's 70% of the way down, and the Ling is going to slip in. No!
And it will confirm the Evo Chamber. He doesn't know if it's going to be Carapace or Melee, but regardless, Vivid knows he needs to get some Banelings ready. Cannot go toe-to-toe with pure Banelings. At the very least, it was canceled. Drone will be taken out, but that is a pretty massive delay already. No! What a big rain here from Vivid, drawing the Lings down the ramp into that Baneling.
Yeah, exactly. Forces the Banelings of Snow to be morphed in defensively. He's still trying to get that third base up for Larva, I imagine, because Snow is making nothing but Lings right now. But oh my god, Vivid being cheeky. But he gets caught out. The Banelings will not finish up in the main.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping at least one of them would, but it was not to be the case. They were playing with fire. Oh, another beautiful connection here. And another one that is just good enough to shave off the Ling count of Snow and make him reevaluate.
Exactly, but you know what? Vivid, he no longer has any more Banelings, and 4 more Banelings of Snow are rolling on in. Can we get the connections we need? He has to try and avoid these roaches. His roaches are on the way.
The +1 melee of Snow is really starting to kick in as he Lings around every single roach here. Some beautiful Baneling connections as well. I think Snow might have just done it. He needs to avoid the base.
He does. He needs to avoid them desperately as more roaches are coming out. It looks like one of the bases will go down, but the other will connect.
Pretty juicy connection at that. A lot of roaches start to pop off. The Banelings of Snow are getting caught out, and they barely tickle the roaches, even with that +1 melee. But now the Lynx is starting to get surrounds. Vivid has a lot of larvae to work with, but I tell you what's even more larva efficient than roaches. Zerglings.
Oh, they definitely can be, especially with these surrounds. Vivid, he's almost holding, though. Again, like, it feels like we're trickling in here. We do still have plenty of Lings on the way from Snow. Vivid, he just needs a couple more roaches, and then he can hold on. His economy, for the most part, has been left untouched. But now, finally, drones are going down.
Yeah, unfortunately for Vivid, he keeps getting these roaches caught up in wide open positions. He's trying to utilize the choke points, but as more and more roaches hatch from the eggs, it's kind of hard to get in position without Galauer Constitution.
Oh, it really is. I feel like at this point, Snow has to give up on the idea of the natural and maybe refocus on the third, and now he does, but maybe it's a little bit too late. Again, he doesn't have any more Banelings. He only has a handful of Lings remaining.
Yeah, a little bit indecisive there, and I think that will cost him. Vivid did a very good job of body blocking the Lings, could not quite get into the mineral line, when at the end of all of that, he lost 4 drones.
Yeah, and he's still ahead. He lost 4 drones and he still has more. In the end, finally, Vivid has stabilized. He's made enough roaches. He didn't really need too many more Banelings here. Meanwhile, Snow, he's still committed. He's still all in. He hasn't been droning. He's been still making nothing but Lings.
Yeah, now it's... the tables are finally starting to turn. Vivid is able to utilize the superior economy to get a superior army. And yeah, at a certain point, as you were saying, you know, you don't have to worry too much about roaches getting surrounded when they body block themselves essentially.
God.
To try to connect another really good connection for Vivid, not so much on the side of Snow, and it looks like the wind has finally been knocked out of Snow's sail. Vivid is going for the counterattack immediately.
Exactly. Vivid, his baiting connections have been insane. The Lings are already across the map. They do take out a Queen that was injecting at the third base. +1 Carapace just finished up for Snow, so, I mean, that could be something. But again, he just has to make sure he avoids these Banelings.
Yeah. The Lynx are going to be able to survive 1 connection, but not 3.
Exactly, and really Vivid just wants to soften them up so the Roaches can finish it off. I mean, we do have a surround on Lynx. 2 Banelings already get baited out, but there's 1 more left.
And Vivid's trying to get the juiciest connection possible, but it's not possible because the Roaches are actually killing the Lings before the Baneling can get in position.
Yeah, there are just too many Roaches at this point. As you said, they body block for themselves, right? They provide each other that service area that they need to avoid the surrounds. Third base is going to fall. And with that third, I think this game was much closer, but Vivid, he's still coming out on top.
Yeah. Things are looking very chaotic. I really thought that there was just 1 moment, maybe 1 straw, 1 single Ling that would break the back of Vivid's defense, but in the end, calm under pressure, he was able to stabilize and really reciprocate the damage. Good game well played is called, and Vivid will be your first player, I believe, to go into a qualifying match. Old mate Vinny.
He does it, mate. GG, well played. That was pretty close.
It was.
There was a moment there where Snow almost broke Vivid. He almost broke him. He was there in the natural, but as we saw, those Roaches, they were coming out clutch. In the beginning, they were being surrounded, but eventually they did kind of amass to the point where Vivid could defend.
Really did. You know, Snow was doing a lot of really great things with his Roaches. I mean, it was very impressive how he was able to catch all of these Roaches immediately once he saw them pop. He was like, they're vulnerable, surround them immediately, +1 melee, really going to town on them. But in the end, Vivid just had a much better economy. He had a lot more, well, I guess they had about the same amount of larva, but he had a lot more resources to turn that larva into something.